Hey everyone, my name's Tony Fox from Mrs. Fox's Plans. So today I'm going to do some of my junk journal January. If for those of you that don't know what junk journal January is, it is a it's a collab between or created by Meg Journals and a few other planning channels, and what it is basically a prompt for every day of January, and from those prompts you create your own junk journal interpretation. So I'll put some links down below of Meg's journals and a few other people that are a part of this challenge. So really it is just however you want to interpret the word and what it means to you. You can do it any different style. I'm a very simplistic journaler, creator. I don't create my own books, or I just use books and add things to the books. When you look through the other channels, you'll notice that some of them actually create the journals and then go from there, out of all different things, scrap items, paper, everything. So it's very interesting how everybody interprets the word junk journaling. I interpret junk journaling in a way of adding junk to my journal. So I take the word and put to it what I perceive as my interpretation. So I'll go through where I'm at so far. So far I've done I think it's a few. So I'll go through what I've done. So first of all, the first one was resolutions. So basically this was my interpretation of resolutions. I created resolutions and I put ephemera around that relates to those resolutions. Then the next one was quote, and what I did was picked a quote that resonates with me and then just created the spread around that particular quote. Then I come across the next one was throwback. So my interpretation of throwback is basically going back in time. So here we have is like a film negative and it's got photos in it. I chose these ones because I grew up around the sand, the surf in my younger days. So this and it in a camera negative relates to me, and obviously old newspaper, a girl, young girl with collecting flowers, all of this sort of resonates with my childhood. There could be so many different ways that you could do a throwback, so that was my interpretation. Then you got tuck spot. So here I created a tuck spot to put a washi card, and I thought that the best way to make that all come to life was to use washi. So I made a washi page and then created the tuck spot for that to sit in. Doesn't stay very well because things don't generally like to sit to washi tape, but we'll see how it goes. Then we've got daily log. So what I did was picked a day and time which happened to be the 5th of January because this was the fifth word for the whole junk journal January. So then I just did my timeline for what I would do on that particular day. Then we came to memory. Now memory, I chose a time, a year and a time, and then created a spread about that particular memory. So I did this one as a flap over spread. So the year was 2000. This was the year of the Olympics in Sydney. It also was a big year for us. We moved from Sydney to the Gold Coast. So I just put in a few links to the time for that particular memory and then journaled about that particular memory and what it meant. The next one then was stitched, and here I can't sew, so I just basically did sewing on a page and just did some ephemera and bits and pieces that related to stitching. Then we come to neutral, which is quite easy because I like a neutral palette, and I just chose all different ephemera bits that were quite neutral. Then we got foliage, and then here I've actually got some foliage from my garden, and then all different ephemera bits that show you foliage. Then layered's quite easy. Here I just kept layering and layering and layering across the spread, so there's all different types of textured paper layered upon each other. Then eclectic. Here I just chose, these things are very, very eclectic things that relate to history or time. So there's ticket stubs, there's a map that's actually from a map of London, so that's all of these are all kind of eclectic pieces, like the old record players, an old combi van, all of those type of things. So that's how I come up with eclectic. And torn edges, well, torn edges was quite simple. I just basically took all different types of paper, washi, and did tearing tissue paper from a package, and then created the torn edges. Here, dark and light, my interpretation was this is the dark side, this is the light side, so these are opposites. So I chose that as my definition for opposites. This one here, which I only did yesterday, was flow, and with this one I wanted to show all the different ways that ink can flow. I used different types of mechanisms to do these little bits here. Like here I used an eyedropper, I used spray and a sponge, so I sprayed the ink and then sponged it to show you how it flowed. This was a paintbrush without any water, and this was a paintbrush with water to show you the way ink flows differently. And here it was with a needlepoint syringe. So, and this was just showing you the flow of ink from different sources. The tragedy of doing this, besides going to the page there, is I had to cover it up and stick a page together because it was coming through. So now, today's quote or word is whimsical. Just have a look. So we're at day 17, so whimsical. So what is my interpretation of whimsical? Whimsical is to my mind, is like ethereal, make-believe kind of. So what I've chosen for my whimsical spread is to do something quite feminine. I'm going to use burgundy kind of hues and create the spread accordingly. So it'll be soft and feminine, and hopefully I can bring this page to life. So I thought I would try and do this with you and create this spread as we go. So I'm looking for really like dark whimsical colours. So I'll bring in, I've got some of my old stickers from my Sterling Ink sub days, and then I've got some PET tape. This is actually Lauren Phelps Design PET tape, so I'll try and use some of those, and then just basically some scrap papers along the way. So I thought I would try and do this with you and see how we go. I'm not overly good with these type of things on camera. It's not my area of expertise, but I'm going to give it a go. So what I might do is start off by framing the base of the page. I kind of like, this is a doily, paper doily, which you can get from, in Australia, like we call them the $2 shops. And so I thought I buy packets of these. These are like a couple of dollars for a packet. So I buy these and use them in spreads for adding detail and texture to the pages. So first of all, let's lay this down. Oops, of course it's sticking on the bottom. But okay, so let's lay this down. So just want to welcome back anyone that's already been on my channel for some time and say welcome and thank you so much for subscribing and coming back and watching my videos. I really truly appreciate. And if this is your first time, I'd really love if you want to see more of this type of oops, look at that, tearing it to pieces, these types of spreads, then please press the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified when I upload more. I do quite varying, I think I'm going to use glue now, quite varying sort of spreads. I'll do, this is sort of new, I tried this last year, so this is new to me, the whole junk journaling theme, so I'm trying this out, so it's a bit of an experiment for me as well. I also do general journaling, do plan with me's, I do all those type of things, so it's quite a varied channel. I also am a long time sufferer of chronic pain. I live with quite a few chronic pain conditions, so occasionally I will do a talk about the challenges with dealing with all the different ailments that I have, be it fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, all of those things, which is unfortunately the beast that I live with. And so sometimes I'll talk about my experiences with things that are going on and talk those through. So if there's any of those type of topics that you want to explore on this channel, I'm happy to have a chat to you or talk to you about all the different ways I deal with things. I've been dealing with chronic pain and rheumatoid arthritis and all those things for nearly 30 years now, so I come from a level of personal experience. I am no way an expert in any of those topics. I am just a person from experience and things that I have tried and challenges that I have come across, and I share those. I have written a book which actually really started out as a therapy journal, and in that I explore all of the challenges that I was going through on a daily basis. I talk about when I went through major surgery, spinal surgery. I've had quite a few of those. I've had over 32 surgeries, so I come from a level of experience and understanding when it comes to that, so I do talk about that. So if that's something that you want me to explore a bit further, then I'm happy to have a chat. I think I'm overdue for a pain talk, so I've certainly got that on my list of things to do. And let me see, one of the biggest challenges here is to try and get these, when you've cut PET tape down and it comes down to the tiniest little bit, it's nigh on impossible to get these things to come off. We may actually have to see if we can split this with tweezers, but I don't like my chances because it's so tiny. Anyone else got some hints on how? Oh, got it. How to do this? I know that if you roll them with your fingers, that you've got half a chance of getting them off, but we succeeded. So yeah, so I'll be exploring a bit more of that this year as well. Not sure if we're going to use these papers, though I kind of like that texture, but I like the way that the depth of the colour that's coming out with this, so kind of enjoying the way this is coming to life with these colours. So this, ladies, we've got this in two different styles of dress. To my mind, I just find this is kind of what I interpret as whimsical, as free and glamorous even. As you say, I don't cut around my PET tape right to the picture because I'm not a great cutter with my rheumatoid. My fine motor skills are not great, so I tend to, it's clear tape anyway, so I tend to not stress too much that I can't. Actually, I think I might put her down here and create things. So I don't tend to stress about not being able to cut all around it because I know in my mind I don't think you really can see it, so I tend to just leave it be. I really like this flower here. I thought I'd cut some off, but I didn't. I wonder if we should try and bring, I think the thing that concerns me is this is on white matte paper, so just sort of brings another element to it. So I might just park that for a minute and go back to these and see if we can just use a bit more of this. This is a Lauren Phelps design kit which I picked up last year. I love the ease of use of this paper. It's in transparent matte and I just find it so nice and easy to use her stickers for all the spreads I like to create. The colours are quite rich and vibrant on this paper. So I can add some more of these flowers going up there. Sort of create like a little row. Let's get this one off. So try and create a story. So I do want to, oh look at that, it's a nice little torn paper kind of look on that one. Let me see if I can get that one. I like that one. So yeah, as I said, I interpret junk journaling. This is to my mind what I see as junk journaling. It's just creating different ephemera looks on a page. I'm not very good at, like I used to do paper craft back in the day, but I'm not very good at it, and I a little bit too OCD to successfully do creating books. I'd like it all to be neat and very, very structured, so I'm not a good junk journaler in that respect. Whereas to my mind, I like it to be a little bit more organised and I'm going to say pretty, if that's the way to look at it, but a little bit neat. More neat is probably the word I'm looking for. So yeah, so how's everybody's year going? We're having a calamity of a year so far. We have started off with Christmas Day, which I don't know, I'm sure I've spoken about it on my channel before, about how we had a tornado here in the Gold Coast in Australia. We had, it's the first tornado that I've lived through, and I actually wasn't even home. I was at my son's place, which is probably about 40 minutes away from here, and my partner was home with their animals, and he said it was quite scary. I was getting calls from him throughout the night, and for him to call, it must have been hectic. We had a bit of bad weather where I was. I was babysitting my son and his girlfriend's little kitten, little Ava, and we were getting some wild and crazy weather, but nothing like what we got here. So the next day I drove home because we'd lost power, and to see the damage that the actual storm had caused, and oh my goodness, I don't think I've seen anything so horrific. There was just a devastation everywhere, trees all over the road, so as you're driving down you're dodging the fallen trees, fallen power lines. At 3 doors down at the end of our street there was 2 power poles literally uplifted and out of the ground. On our street there was a ginormous tree that went across the whole road, could crush 2 cars. It was just horrendous. So we were without power for 5 days, so I couldn't, it was in the middle of a heat wave too, because we're in the middle of summer, and I don't think I'm going to get this sticker up. It's really not coming up. There we go. I got it. Yeah. So we it was just devastation, and I couldn't stay here because it was too hot for myself and my animals, and we didn't know how long the power was going to be out. So I went back to my son and his girlfriend's house because I couldn't stay here. I was starting to struggle with heat stroke. So it's either, if I didn't go, I was going to end up in hospital. So I took my 2 dogs and went to my son's house, and we waited, and then finally by the 30th of December we still had no power. So my son and I went to our local Bunnings and bought a generator, and I said I have to bring my dogs home. They're starting to fret for the cat. My partner was struggling. So on the way home the power came on. So yes, who would have thought that would happen? Probably should have bought the generator 5 days earlier. But yeah, so the power came back on. We'd lost all our food, all of that. It was just calamity. And then we come New Year's Eve, and then we have another storm. So we're watching the fireworks from our house, but not only did we have fireworks, we also had a electric light show with the lightning. It was just, yeah, it's just been crazy. So then we had that, and then we had I had to do something. I forgot where I was. So what I'm going to do now is create the label. I don't think I'm going to add too much more to this because I just find it just kind of whimsical. So what I've got here is my little make it ID. So I am going to write the label. Okay. Text. So I'm going to write the word whimsical, WHIMSICA, whimsical, thank you. And I'll change the font. I think the font looks okay. I don't think there's anything else that'll suit. It's a great little gadget. This is a Christmas present from my son and daughter-in-law. They gave me a voucher for Amazon, so I decided that this is what I'd get. So I had to get it sent over. It actually came from America, I think. So print that out. So this is a clear label. So I think, I don't know about this particular tag. Probably not right, I don't think. Let's see if we can find another little tag that's probably a little bit smaller. Let's see what else we can do. These little tags. Oh, a cute little to-do list. colour reds. There's a cute little tag. Of course, that's the same as that one. Okay, they're all a bit big, I think. They're all too big. So, let me see. We've got another big box. Vintage labels. These are probably more in the right colour tones, but hopefully one that doesn't have too many bits on it. It's quite large, isn't it? Oh, that one will work. Okay, we'll use that. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, so I think I was talking about the weather and the strange weather patterns that we're having. So yeah, so we had New Year's Eve, we had another storm, and then we have had heat waves, and then lo and behold, we had flooding. And yeah, we've had it all here on the Gold Coast in Australia. We have got another cyclone forming at the moment, potential to hit us by Wednesday. Today's Saturday, so we're not too sure where exactly it's going to land, but there is talk that it is on its way. So yes, we're having a summer of crazy weather. So the weather, as anyone that suffers with chronic pain conditions and rheumatic conditions knows, weather patterns really affect us. So this is another challenging sticker. As you can see, I'm very challenged with stickers today. I think I can see it. There we go. Yeah, so weather really affects people with chronic pain conditions like I've got. So needless to say, it's been a challenging summer, but we'll get there. Okay, well I think that might do it for me. So I might just flick through again, as I said. So this was my interpretation of the challenge for day 17. So as I said, we've gone through all of the different things in my journal so far. So the next word is borders. So borders shouldn't be too hard to do, but yep, that's where I'm probably going to leave it for today for this particular one. So if you liked what you saw, if you could give me a thumbs up. And as I said, if you would like to subscribe to see more of my journal videos, whether it be my junk journaling, I've got a few different journals that I use for different reasons. I'll be doing some plan with me's. So I'd love it if you subscribe, press the bell notification to be notified, and hang out with me next time. But that's it from me. Ciao for now. Bye.